Hi there, I'm Aytakk, also known as Joe Tobin in real life. You may remember me from such things as my articles on the Belfry network, the Elitist Joe memes. You may have seen me on Reddit. You may have been to one of my events I DJ in Adelaide, things like that. You may even know me from some of the more notorious places, like how somebody decided to put a photo of me on Encyclopedia Dramatica many years ago, about 10 years ago in fact. I even wrote an article about it, and there's even a couple of photo threads of me on LiveJournal in Goth. One of them I put there myself because I've got a sense of humour about who I am. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about today is the GOTHS for SOPHIE calendar that has been released this year, and for some strange reason they decided to put me in it. Yay! So I'm here to talk about that, and I'm also going to talk about a couple of my experiences relating to things like that, and then I've got some fun stuff at the end of the video. But let's start with the actual calendar itself. Now, what will happen if you buy one of these things? They're $25. I will have the link to buy one from the posable fundraiser in the notes below. Is you'll get an envelope, something like this, and the back of it will have something like this. Now, when I was asked to do this, it was from Charlotte herself, who I consider her a friend. I've known her online for a couple of years now, and when she first decided to do the calendars last year, I jumped at it and bought one. Not necessarily because I wanted to support the cause as such, though it is an excellent cause, but because I wanted to support a friend and help her in her endeavour, even though it's a completely non-profit thing. For the record, last year they raised about, I'm working from some notes here, so bear with me. Well, not really notes as such, but just sort of bits and pieces. They raised about £4,000, and that all of that, that was after costs, and all of that was donated to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. So if you're worried about this being a scam or something, it's not. The plan is to do this every year, so who knows? You may even be you in it next year. If they can put an old, fat, balding git like me who has terrible teeth in a calendar like this, then could be you. Maybe not next year, maybe the year after, whatever. Anyway, you open the letter, you open the envelope, and you get a nice little letter here. So thanks for your support, blah blah blah. And I'm not going to read it, because if you buy a calendar you can read your own, and that'll ruin it. But yep, this here is the calendar itself. Yay! And as you can see, all the people on the back that are involved. And what's really cool is it isn't just people, they've also got some bands involved with this, which I think is pretty awesome. And of course, I've got to be the shameless show pony that I am. Who's that? Look familiar? Maybe not, maybe. Yes, that's definitely me. Except it's a photo from a completely non-goth event, but who cares? That was the best photo I had that was fairly recent. Anyway, the photo was from an event I ran called Cybermorph, and that was in September of this year. So it's fairly recent, and it's an outfit that night that I quite enjoyed. The Cyberhawk is actually from Angel Spit. I bought that about 10 years ago. I don't even think you can get them anymore. I'm wearing the same jacket here that I was wearing in there. I think I'm wearing the same gloves too. I'm not wearing the same shirt, but that was a shirt that I bought on Wish for peanuts. So yeah, and it's like a weird sort of latexy thing. Some people say, oh, you're a fat guy, you can't wear that stuff. It's like, screw you, I'm going to wear what I want. And ultimately, this is what it's all about. Now, some of you are going to look at these and say, but Aytakk, you wrote a couple of articles disparaging this. disparaging the SOPHIE organisation and all that. Now, I'm going to put links to these articles in the notes underneath the video as well, so you can have a look and decide for yourself. But they were written a couple of years ago, and to be fair, the first one was me questioning whether attacks against somebody who looks different even counts as a hate crime, because technically any violent crime is a hate crime. And I also posited that maybe it wouldn't have mattered who was there, they were going to attack them. And I didn't think of it at the time, but I kind of have a personal experience that relates to that. Now, this happened when I was about 18 years old, which was before I discovered the goth subculture. I knew about alternative culture, and I hung around with people like that at the time, and we got jumped by some skinheads. And one of the reasons they went after us was they were there, one of them was there trying to get with an ex-girlfriend. Sorry, my lazy eye is annoying the hell out of me at the moment. I can see it in the camera. I'm just going to have to live with it. If I tilt my head slightly, maybe it'll look better. That'll do. Anyway, as for last year's calendar, back there, you can see it. Right, anyway, these guys jumped us. I got hit in the head numerous times by this guy wearing knuckle dusters. I yelled and screamed my head off. It was actually one of my experiences that I had smoking marijuana that put me off smoking it, because I was too stoned to defend myself. And the whole reason why these guys attacked us was they were just looking for somebody to take their frustrations out on. Now, one of us in the group had long hair that was shaved on one side, so I don't know if they went for us because of him. He wasn't the one that took the beating, it was me, and I looked fairly normal. Or they just happened to be looking for someone to beat up. The second article that I wrote was pertaining to selfies for Sophie, which only seemed to happen once because it was really a bad idea. It seemed like one of those fad challenges like the ice bucket challenge and that people do, that seemingly raise awareness, but really nothing actually happens. There's no donations happening. Whereas if you buy this calendar, the money after expenses will go to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. And the calendars, to be transparent, are $25 each, and I think that includes postage. I'm pretty sure it does. Or for a limited offer, if they've still got any in stock, you can actually buy this year's calendar and last year's calendar for $30. Now, I'm not sure if that's Australian dollars or US dollars. If it's Australian dollars, you're getting an even better deal if you live overseas. Now, so what can I or you do? Well, I've just mentioned you could buy the calendar. You could, if you can't afford to buy it, share the link on your social media. There are other people that might be interested. If we had more time before Christmas, it would be an ideal Christmas present maybe, or a belated one for somebody you know, that little darkling, or darkly inclined, or uber gothic in your life. Yes, I said that with an F. Spoopy, so spoopy. Anyway, let's see, what have I got next on the list? Oh yes, other goth attack instances involving myself or people I know. Now, I've known numerous people over the years that have been attacked, not necessarily for being goth, but for looking different. And I've even copped a little bit of that myself. If you happen to be a man who wears makeup, you are going to get straight men calling you a fag. Or other things like that, questioning your sexuality. That's a given. That's just the society we live in, and that's fragile masculinity at work. Apart from that, one of the main instances that really sticks out in my mind was I was working at an event and I was dressed up as a PVC nun that night. Now, I found the PVC nun outfit is one of those things that either brings out the best or the worst in people. Now, some people see it and they think it's absolutely awesome, and other people will see it, and as one person did, they threw a milkshake at me. Lucky for me, they missed. But also, if they had have hit me, the joke's on them because it's PVC and all I need to do is hose off. Right now, so if I haven't sold you on buying the calendar yet, and yes, I'm well aware that I'm shilling out here and also technically doing a little self-promotion along the way, which is a bit weird because I talked about that in one of the articles saying blah blah blah, bands should not be doing that, especially when they weren't goth bands. But at the time they were when they first started it was goth, but then they expanded it to alternative in general, which I think was a very wise move. But on top of that though, within the UK, I think it's in Manchester, they've actually managed to get attacking someone for how they look put in as a hate crime. So they have done something, and at the time I didn't know that. But anyway, the fun stuff. Things to do with my picture in the calendar. Now, there are a lot of you people out there that don't like me. I know this. It is fine. I'm just this balding old git that seems to say, goth is mainly about the music, blah, 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 blah. All I want to do is dress up and listen to sad boy rap. Well, you're wrong. But that's okay, because now you have a way of taking it out on me. Now, one thing interesting about the calendar, I deliberately chose February for my month. One, because I decided to take one for the team and pick the month with the least amount of days in it. See, I can be benevolent when I want to be, but no, everyone's like, no, he's just a mean arsehole. Now, we have the band Virgin in Vale in January. Flip over the page and we have me in February. Now, if you really wanted to, if you didn't want to look at me for 28 days, what you could do is tear out my photo and then look, lo and behold, you have the band in February as well, and they look a lot better than I do, and you can do that there, and then suddenly, oh my god, I've just destroyed my calendar. It is no longer a collectible. You're going to have to buy a second one. Now, finally, my nefarious plan comes to fruition. I really just want people buying two of them. But the beautiful thing is, you can keep one as a collectible anyway, and tear up the other one and turn it into posters to put on your wall. I mean, that's the most well-known band that I know in here. Clan of Zymox. Who doesn't want a Clan of Zymox poster on their wall? I know I do. And in fact, I'm really tempted to rip one up and put some posters on the wall myself. I'm almost tempted to do that with the one I got last year, because I really don't care if it's collectible or not, but I know some people will. These things are going to get rare, especially the earlier ones before they've caught on. And you never know, you might be able to sell it for a couple of bucks in the future, or when they do another book like Somewhere Leather, Somewhere Lace, where they're showing artifacts of the past, your photo in the calendar may even show up in it as an artifact of the past in 20 or 30 years' time. You just never know. But also, what can you actually do with my photo? Well, if you've got a dartboard, you can throw darts at it. You can shred it up and use it as toilet paper, though it's really good quality paper, so it's going to be a bit hard to flush and you'll probably clog your toilet, and that will be Aytakk's last revenge. You could tear it up and throw it as confetti. You could do a YouTube video of yourself destroying the video. Destroying the video. What the hell am I talking about? Destroying the photo. But you can also show the rest of the calendar and give it a plug if you like the rest of it. You don't have to like all of it. You don't have to like me. But it is still a good cause to support. And it's only $25. You get a calendar out of it. I don't know why anyone wouldn't. Plus, think of the goth points. Think of the goth points. All the goth points you will earn. These are the sort of goth points you normally have to collect vinyl records to get. Seriously. You know, you can hold this in your hand. Can you hold a YouTube video or a Bandcamp download in your hand? You can hold a record in your hand, sure. That's the sort of goth points we're talking here. It's the sort of thing that you can have it on your wall, have it on your videos and go, I own this. Do you own this? No. So if not, buy one for yourself for your own selfish, nefarious means. Right, what else do I have here? Oh, I've covered that. I'll sort of cover things out of order here. I was going to sort of do everything weird. Oh well, I guess to conclude, buy, purchase, consume.